with the Nature's Prophet, then do we feel like the boys on Radiant, do we feel like Meteor have done enough to potentially be able to beat this NP?
Thirty seconds to battle. The battle begins.
Well, we do have the horn sounding. Will be YBB able to find 3 bounty runes to start, so nice little gold advantage. Nothing too crazy, of course. Were you hoping that there might be any lane shenanigans? I know the panel really spoke about how this Viper into the Spectre should be pretty good. Do you feel like there was any possibility of them to rotate the lanes, or they kind of just have to look to do as best as they can into this matchup?
I think they just got to do the best they can, right? Like, and you know, they tried to address multiple different issues with the shallow grave being available as well with that dazzle. Oh, the Enchantress has gone bottom though, so a little bit of harassment here. Maybe expecting that the Riki is going to be able to do a better job at being that frontline presence.
Beyond, who's going to win out on this trade at the moment? Beyond tried to step on forward, but that meant the Spectre could easily continue to chase him down. So in the end, I mean, Meteor doing an incredible job to be able to penalize the really early weakness of the Viper at level 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do, right? You got to try and exploit it any single possible way that you can. You've also got the Blightstone on TZ, so we know that one of the big ways to take care of a Viper is heavy physical damage. He's only got the 2 armor to be able to start with, so before a lot of that agi gain can start to be a factor, just look to punish him as much as you can.
Would you like to see them go again straight away?
I think the lane's just not in an amazing spot to be able to do so. You know, it's pushed right up next to you. You can probably get a little bit of that extra farm, and as long as you're killing the Viper before he reaches that level 3, I think you're generally satisfied with that. Like, if they can get level 2 Dazzle, for example, then you've got a little bit of extra sustain and burst as well for that impending team fight. You got to remember, Shadow Wave is physical damage as well, so you're going to get benefit out of that Blightstone too.
Now, with the change to the Coddle being a position 3, are we hoping Molasses goes down a particular item build to enable, of course, Meteor in a game like this?
I still wouldn't hate him going down this Boots of Travel sort of route, right? Like, you've got a Spirit Breaker to be able to play around with. I don't think you can just rely on Marblue making a rotation towards the Coddle's lane every single time. It's got to be kind of the opposite, right? You got to move to the other side. They might be actually going for another kill attempt bot. I don't know who's going to win this one, though. He's leveled up the Shallow Grave.
Oh, that might just give them the kill, enabling TZ to find the experience. He will still go down. I mean, ZZQ's level 3. I don't know if they can really do too much with this. He put a second point in the enchant, so I guess for him at least, your farming capacity is going to be increased if he wants to go back to the jungle. But this Viper lane, really struggling. Radiant doing great to be able to make him have a bad time early on.
Yeah, and I mean, he's even gone into the Wraith Band now as well, realizing that I am tired of getting harassed constantly in this lane. He doesn't really hasn't had the opportunity to be able to spam out too many of those mangoes as well, but now with the lane pushed back a little bit further, that's what the downsides of having the poison touch. Just means that it's going to shut down the lane a little bit more as well, that you just can't continue to fight up into this, and you just see what happens, right? Well, he's actually trying to turn this back around, but you know, there's that level 2 enchant as well, just slowing him up enough that they're not going to be able to confirm this kill.
We really need to give this Viper this level 3. Every extra level you're able to find the poison tag is a little bit of a damage spike. Remaining phase. Love to see ZZQ try and give him that solo experience so he can find that level, and they can maybe look to get aggressive.
He's also almost got the boots. He's actually just had them delivered, so yeah, I wonder if they're going to go for an aggressive attempt now, right as that happens. Could be a fact of him literally saying, oh, I'm not level 3 just yet. And you just see how Meteor Gaming are going to look to back off in that time as soon as they see that Viper hit up onto that scary point.
you have to be so impressed with the start you've gotten before Viper is now hit level 3. 2 kills onto the Spectre. So he's third in net worth at the moment, the early stage. Of course, he's now going to struggle at finding last hits, but hopefully that net worth is able to kind of suffice and help bring out some extra regen.
Now, we've been watching the bot a fair amount. I've only just had a quick look up at top, and I mean, just have a look at the differential between last hits between the two. And when it comes to net worth, it's actually like an 800 gold differential between the Keeper of the Light and the Nature's Prophet. So kind of surprised that he's been able to get away with this much farm on the NP. Or maybe not surprised at that. I'm surprised that the Keeper hasn't been able to pick up more for himself.
He might actually be able to kill Marblu. Or charge through the wave instead.
Even Glyphing, not wanting him to get and farm, they realize how important the Coddle is to being able to deal a lot of this damage early on. Again, we were talking about it on the panel that you're in danger of just getting run over if the lanes don't go too well for you on Meteor. Obviously, bottom lane has gone fairly well. We're actually going to go for a charge onto the Ricky, so it's really just a question of how much information can you reveal at this stage, and I feel like Tianming has realized that he's got a big ball running at his face right now.
Will he be able to dodge it? He's got the creep wave. Oh, alright, nice timing. Last going to be able to blow him up. And he just one hits the corner as well, apparently. So, a little bit of extra gold. Add to the bank. But still, YBB, I mean, this was just a 2,000 net worth lead. They're off to a really good start. Habs on mid now. 70 was the first to pick up his ultimate. We'll be playing on with that War of Con. Fleshing should be able to find his ulti pretty shortly. But I wonder if YBB are going to look to try and get aggressive here with Tianming actually TPing to the lane. Maybe that silence is going to catch Blessing off guard. So doesn't have that ultimate yet to play with. Down bottom lane, actually, TZ is also getting chased down here. TZQ won't be able to continue to spam the impetus.
I wonder if now, like, you can see Marblu, he's covering the top power rune right now. He's going to see that it's an arcane rune. Probably going to be able to protect that one for his Pangolier. And then I wonder if he does look to make a movement down towards the bottom side of the map, although actually Spectre's forced to TP all the way back to base, so that's not likely anymore.
Oh,
that's
Lou got a solo.
Kill.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking, all right, he's up here solo against the Prophet. He's going to be able to shove these lanes away. There's no Ricky there. You know it because he just had that bottle refill. Maybe you look to go for a kill attempt somewhere else. So able to pick up that solo kill on Lou is huge.
He might TP bottom as well. They've still got this catapult. They might not even need him. I mean, TZ is trying to hide in the, tuck in a little hidey hole to try and soak up some of the experience, but this was the concerns that the panel raised, that the lanes could go really poorly and Radiant might not actually come online to have this global strategy.
They got a quick glimpse of the Spirit Breaker coming through with those Observer Wards as well, so they're going to know that they can back off, that they're ready to make some move. And again, this has been a pretty heavy commitment coming through. They might give up CCQ.
Forced to use the Rolling Thunder, and Beyond's going to stand nearby so he can get the Blink Strike away. Is he close enough? And he's not. Alright, they at least get a second kill, but take a look what's happening across the map. Lou's going to keep buying up with... And this is a tier 1 tower in the mid lane that's about to go down. So yes, you defend the bottom, but you have to sacrifice your middle tower now.
Pretty important to keep that one as well, especially when you consider you're going up against 3 heroes that are pretty adept at being able to take some of those ancient stacks. And well, you can tell that on his Spectre is going to look to go down that route. I mean, he's already queued up the Blade Mail before going any kind of boots or anything else.
And now with that mid tower open, we're going to start to see 70 a whole lot more active across the map.
That's the thing with Tusk, right? You don't need much. You just need a couple of items, and then it's just that low cooldown Dota that people love to be able to play around constantly. And he's even got a haste rune as well now, so he can preserve that that TP scroll to perhaps make a reactionary rotation when he moves. Maybe they're going to try for a kill somewhere else, and he can actually respond to it.
So what the Meteor have to do at this stage of the game when they're so far behind? Where is kind of the mechanic for them to stall out this game long enough for these heroes to come online and again have that global presence that we're expecting from them?
I mean, to me, it's still on the back of Molasses. He's gone into the mechanism build instead. I think he's actually got it coming out to him, so it's going to provide a little more survivability. But I mean, Viper's one of those heroes that doesn't really hate these drawn-out team fights. Neither does an Enchantress.
Molasses. He's getting dived up top. will instantly look to back on out as soon as they see Blake can move up. So
There's that haste, though.
forces a reaction. Still this deep observer behind the tower, so I wonder if they're going to look to try and stick around. It's a 5,000 network lead.
Yeah, it's pretty pretty significant at this stage. Speaking of mechs, you've nearly picked one up for Beyond as well. They might be able to get the kill here onto TZ, force him to go into that shallow grave, but well, they're not even going to give him the option.
And up top, they're going to look to defend it as well. Lou was considering about TPing in. Doesn't look like they're going to
TP's on everyone except us.
Attempts the TP out of Marblu. Was already close enough to be able to cancel his own. And Mimo inside the jungle, 70. In the combination with Lou, they've been able to capture the Spectre. Kill for them to find Spectre, trying to get that little bit of farm to work towards the Blade Mail. Match up easier inside the jungle, but YBB making sure he has a no read in this game.
No crutches, don't call him the Spectre, what's his name? There it is. Just imagine the perfect post-workout shake.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oof. I actually don't have a lot of post-workout shakes, but you know, I can see where you're going. So, like,
You don't love food as much as I do.
Oh, dude, when you
evident.
go through when you go through a cutting phase and you go back to bulking through these, I don't think I've tasted anything. We've done a fast actually. Have you done like a 3-day fast? I've done a 3-day fast, and I've never tasted better food after a 3-day fast.
What was the food that
delicious.
you had though after?
Was
it actually tasty food, or was it just bland garbage that normally wouldn't taste that good? But because...
No, no, it was kind of just basic food, but it felt enhanced. My taste buds, they were lacking. They had
I mean, I like to say I do intermittent fasting, but that's just me being lazy and not having breakfast. So.
Lane 70. Good chillin'. Marblu.
I don't think you can go for that just yet.
Yeah.
They could be looking to make a play very soon though on Meteor Gaming. Like, I know they're still 5k behind, but you've got your level 6 on the Spectre. She's got her Blade Mail. You've got the mech available on the Keeper of the Light. You've got Rolling Thunder. Maybe you want to wait for the Diffusal Blade, but it feels like a fair ways away. And I mean, this is 3 people just trying to kill an Enchantress and taking a good 5-10 seconds to be able to do so. So I really don't feel like that's an effective use of their time.
Let's look at YBB getting out of the map. Ming's trying to get some me time up top. Of course, wanting that Aghanim Shard as early as he can get it. You've got Lou back inside the triangle, working on his Gleipnir. Ron's having an okay time down bottom. Mech already completed into the Greaves. So even though YBB have this 5,000 net worth lead, what is kind of the game plan for them is actually bottom lane Spectre. The Strike's going to be out, but as soon as the Blade Mail is activated, Ron's kind of has to think twice, especially with the Dazzle revealing his positioning. But for YBB, they've taken 2 objectives early on. They have this net worth lead. But do we want to see them continue to play aggressive, or are they just waiting for some of these timings?
I guess they're just waiting for Diffusal Blade on the Pangolier is all I can really think of at this stage, because to me, they're lacking in damage. Sorry, for YBB?
The seeds of fortune.
Maybe just one in the Greaves available for Beyond. I mean, they've got plenty. You've nearly got the Blink Dagger as well on the Tusk, so you can go for those burst initiations onto, honestly, anyone, right? You catch Pango before he's able to get the Shield Crash or the Swashbuckle away. You catch the Dazzle before he's able to Grave. Coddle, very squishy still at this stage, so Blink Dagger is going to resolve a lot of those issues.
Were you considering about taking that first fight then when you do get these items that you just mentioned?
I don't think it really matters, honestly. Like, they could just look to push out any sort of lane. They're all going to go down at some stage. You've got an Enchantress, a Tusk, and a Nature's Prophet, 3 of the best healing on. And again, it might just be 2 minutes away as well. You've got Tian Ming, who's, 300 gold away from his Aghanim Shard, 2 minutes left. Just wait for that. The thing is with them, they actually have the capability through their heroes to be able to make these rotations, right? Like, you've got a Nature's Prophet that can go on top of any kind of sleep dart, and Tusk with the Blink Dagger is able to move across the map with his phase boots relatively well as well. That's the weakness that I'm seeing from Meteor, which is why I was still wanting the off-lane Coddle to be going boots of travel, because if you're getting a charge happening plus the Haunt, then I feel like you still need that extra layer of damage on top of that.
Yeah, like, global potential is always nice, but against a team that is about to 5-man, you're not really going to play with this kind of +1 factor that we often see. I mean, you have this, we've spoken about the Greaves, even the Enchantress, ZZQ's going for a pipe. So they're getting ready to ball up, and they recognize, I mean, Radiant, they will have some pretty big damage issues in a team fight. So
yeah, and I think one thing as well is, I believe it was Kezu on the panel that was talking about it, the thing that Meteor have as a slight advantage right now is that their team fight is probably slightly better, just purely on the back of the Pangolier. So maybe they're looking to address that a little bit by saying, okay, your team fight might be better, your AoE a little bit, but we're going to have the Greaves, we're going to have the pipe, so we're going to be able to sustain through that.
I guess we'll have to see where the kind of location of the fight is then. It'll be very important for the Pangolier to have success. 5-on-5, which is pretty close to this Diffusal. 250 gold, should be able to get that. It's bottom side of the map, but...
Don't hate this from Tusk either. Like, he was 200 gold away from being able to pick up the Blink Dagger, and then he said, oh, we're not going until Ricky's got Shard? Alright, let's pivot. I don't need that item right now. It's not going to help me farm at all. So let's go into a little bit more damage, and you can see that's why he's sitting second on net worth on this Tusk, despite not getting as crazy active as mid-Tusks we know they can be. Oh, and ideally going for a teleport here onto the Spectre as he's farming the Ancients. They're really trying to disrupt that. That's why Marblu's just making sure to stick right there.
Look at ZZQ. Look at his positioning. Yes, you get the kill on the Enchantress. Simultaneously across the map, YBB are just getting so much more out of that. A 3-man rotation. Scouts out the Diffusal Blade timing, and of course they smoked as well.
Alright, so we got Gleipnir, we got Aghanim Shard. 400 gold away, EKB on Tusk, and he's probably going to have level 12 as well. I mean, that is go time for me. And really, an Enchantress is the only thing that you're getting in exchange, and it's still taking quite some time to be able to take her down. So, yeah, YBV are very happy with the current state of this game.
This is, when you take a look at the Spectre in regards to kind of the comparison between the carries, and he is nowhere near ready. Blade Mail maxed out Dispersion build. Solid to help with his catch-up and his farming speed inside the jungle. Definitely opening up the Ancients, but we're going to need a lot more time, and Molasses, he might not have time. Ming's going to be able to scout him out. There's the Aghanim Shard to set up. We even give him a tip as well. All right.
Before he dies as well. Like, that was...
felt like the tip was a bit hostile. Like, all right, you gotta chill out, brother. Come on. You guys got an 8,000 net worth lead. Men's didn't do anything. Now they're looking at Marblu as well. Like, you gotta tip this guy as well before you kill him? Alright, not this guy. Maybe they got something against the Coddle.
Yeah, might be the Spectre as well that they just got mines to be able to take out. I mean, they're clearly going to look to try and go for the kill. They've got the Gleipnir available.
They scan. They just need to hold the Gleipnir. You can use the Horn actually to get on out. Never mind. He's chilling, but that's what, 170-second cooldown? Well, you know, Spectre, there's no kind of maybe solo pick-up potential, not solo, I should say, pick-up potential with some +1s on the opposite side of the map, and not instantly YPB. They're going to look to smoke. They want to reclaim some of the mid-territory.
You know that he doesn't really want to TP to any of these fights, right? The Haunt almost feels like his only teamfight contribution for a little bit until he gets into that Aghanim Scepter. So, I mean, they're going to try and make an aggressive move before YBB are able to set up. And if they could find beyond that, it'd be huge.
Let's see how survival is truly going to be with the Greaves. The boys are coming. Lou's going to TP in, holding multiple people in place with the Gleipnir. They will still get the kill onto the Viper, but the cost seems to be way too grave. Blessing should be able to escape. Swashbuckle to get some distance away. But the shard still on cooldown 70 will not be able to catch up. So, boys on Radiant, finally a successful skirmish for them. They get 2 kills, so well, you get the Viper, but kind of 2 people go down. Is it actually a successful skirmish? I don't know.
No, I wouldn't say so. Nature's Prophet knows exactly where Spectre is as well, at all times. And you can see that that's why Tianming is making his movement up towards the top side of the map as well. He knows that he TP'd away. Spectre's been doing a pretty good job to avoid these ganks, but YBB's doing an even better one at just continuously hunting him down and not making him feel safe to actually be able to catch up that net worth differential. Charging, just using his treants to be able to get a bit of
put off in one. I don't know. This man's not going to die, and now Lu again's going to TP him. That's all brought down with ease. 7E's even going to turn his attention over to Blessing inside the lane with a Pango. We'll be able to get some distance away, so the sacrifice is TZ.
It's just Spectre ping-ponging between the top and the bottom of the map right now. He just needs to be able to go back and forth as much as possible, and Yeah, this was the thing that I was expecting YBB to do after that previous pickoff that they had with Tusk just freely picking up that double damage. They didn't go Roche. I was puzzled as to why, but you know what? They've been able to extend their net worth lead since then, and they're still going to get the Roche without too much concern. So this is just means that Nature's Prophet can look to build into even more of this glass cannon style. I know he's going BKB next, but expect him to get even more aggressive after this stage, especially with those TPs.
15.
Sees you.
Well, you can't play around with your horn shenanigans this time. Lou is kind of killing himself, and they're close to the tier 1 tower. This could be okay for Radiant. Blessings with a huge Rolling Thunder charging through the middle with a bounce back and swashbuckle combo. They bring down Tusk and the Aegis, and maybe they can set up on the respawn as well as Lou. He'll attempt the TP, but Marblu can cancel that. The Nether Strike holds him down into place, and they'll find the Nature's Prophet as well. Spectre, a worthwhile sacrifice as YBB will instantly lose their Aegis advantage.
All right. Things going their way a little bit here. Nice little turnaround coming through. I think that was, what, yeah, 2,000 gold swing going the way in total for Meteor. So they're going to be incredibly happy about how that all transpired. And, I mean, this is what the plus side is of all the space that they've been able to make for that Spectre. He hasn't had much team fight contribution, but just look at the damage in that fight that he's able to dish out just by popping the Blade Bell. He did the most damage that fight, 3.2k.
Oh, some signs
of
life.
He's ready to do more soon, right? Like, he's almost level 12. He's just one component away from being able to pick up that Aghanim Scepter. Still trying to think of a way that they could certainly look to give that Philosopher's Stone over to Molasses if they want to. But again, Fairy's Trinket, very good for the Coddle, just because of how big the Illuminate Blast is. That 5% actually adds up a fair amount. My thing is, like, Marblu gets the charge, you use the Horn. Are you at a stage yet on the Spectre to be able to get kills, even onto the likes of like a Riki or an Enchantress? I don't think so.
Not yet, but that fight did give them a lot of gold and, importantly, experience as well. I mean, Blessing has a Lotus Orb. A good Lotus Orb game. Can help them all. Okay. The Rolling Thunder, of course, with the... I mean, if Tusk can kind of control him for that split second, maybe he can enable the Nature's Prophet, who will try and chase Marblu down. Good breaker. Of course, we'll take a spill, but the rest of the team is shoving out. Lotus Orb's going to be really nice as well to maybe that dart if that's used on anyone else but himself, so...
Even just push it back as well onto the Riki. Means that there's no smoke screen follow-up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures.
Unfortunately, you lose that 2-2 tower down bottom. And maybe this next fight could be a little bit different now with Lou having that BKB. Once they committed early, just to be able to deal with the Spectre and avoid that Blade Mail. They actually got to defend this?
They do.
Or he cancelled.
Spirit Breaker's coming up in 2 seconds, and, well, yeah, maybe just feeling like it was a bit too late. So they're not going to be in a position to just yet. I was really thinking that they might, just because the Aghanim Scepter is now finished on the Spectre. So they could have been going for that. With the TP being cancelled on the Dazzle, I really want to see him staying up on this top side, but instead he's just going to give his life up.
Not like this. Oh, he wanted to take the rune away. That's a tricky one. Like, we're as a support, you see a haste rune, you know you have a job to take it away from the position, especially Tusk. He can do so much with a haste, but all of a sudden, you step over that boundary and they pop out of nowhere, you see them pick up the haste in front of your eyes, and you're like, oh, I'm dead. Like, there's nothing I can do. I played the game, this time I lost.
Yeah, I mean, it's his job as well, though, to be able to stand between the Spectre and the rest of the team that are, you know they're coming, right? Like, that's the one area of the map that they've got pretty free reign to be able to play around on this top side. So they end up taking the tower on Lou. And with the Dazzle having to move back and just get picked off by that, it means that has had to walk all the way to the top side to the bottom and spend the last 40 seconds not actually increasing his net worth. So that death on the Dazzle actually means a whole lot more.
Smoke and smoke from either side. We'd even look to put all their forces down to bottom. They might. Well, they will see Spectre pretty shortly. Let's see if they're actually going to veer their attention back to maybe blow him up.
Oh, they missed.
Directly behind the Spectre. They're going to have to be perfect with the jump at 70 off the left side. Look at the assassination. Just blows up TZ on the Dazzle. So they won't have that saving grace in a Blessing with his Rolling Thunder. is completely wasted as well. Lose right-click damage, so 2 kills, and now they can look to get some objectives out of it for Dire. And they're still
The position was
hunting.
actually pretty good on Meteor, although, yeah, can they
The
find
shards
him?
for vision. Can be forced to even haunt away. Where's he go? He went to the lane and lose there.
He went
the
back
top.
and slept.
Well, he ordered him into place. The beautiful
Forced
silence off for the outside. They're going to try and help him, but there's nothing that the Pain Go nor the Coddle can do with the force staff. And they're positioning far enough.
I think he forced up the Ricky, unless my eyes are mistaken. So, just again, a little bit of misclicks coming through on the Ricky first and foremost. I think he sleep darted into that the creep in the mid lane instead of the Spectre. And we just saw there the force staff not able to get the Spectre back to safety. So, that is certainly worrying that it's been a couple of times now that the Spectre's gone down. Yes, they were able to get a good trade the first time around, but he is the one that's going to be able to close out the game for you. Another sleep dart coming through. Yeah, but they've got the damage to be able to connect through onto this, right? That Tusk with the phase boots, with the blink dagger, and Prophet not even needing to be part of that. Didn't even need to pop the Wrath of Nature either.
All right, we've got to bring it up. Mr. Dano, Beyond has your
No.
favorite Viper, right? Okay,
No.
Alright, we don't want to bring it up. That's okay. I don't want to speak about the nosedive. It's all good. It's all good. Look past it.
So, I mean, I guess it means if this... I kind of feel like Beyond is going to be the target for a lot of these, like, charge into...
Run, cheesy.
Jeez, he got exploded. The charge into Shadow... What is it? Shadow Step? Is what it's called? Is what's going to be the main target on the Viper, I feel. So anything that's just going to give him a bunch of stats and allow him to actually resist dying instantly is going to be big. And, you know, the damage additional output that the Aghanim Scepter provides is significant, but you also have to consider that it also provides that that slow and everything else. It's part of the Aghanim Shard, Aghanim Scepter.
Very interesting.
Just gotta
Even
live
within
long enough
range.
for your boys to be able to join. Yeah, it's a tiny age.
Smoke up. Who are they going to run into? Great position once again, Tiao Ming, and well, they can just blow up the Dazzle like we saw prior. Without the Grave, without the support, they're going to have to back off, but maybe Dire have got a bit too deep behind the tier 2 tower. So Radiant will be able to capitalize on 7E's misplacement.
Yeah, but they picked off the Pango in the meantime, so it's actually not too bad, right? Again, we were talking about how he is the team fight that they've got on Meteor Gaming right now. So without him, they're feeling pretty free to just roam around, taking any towers that they want, because there's no stun that's going to be coming through. And if it's the Spirit Breaker that's going in, well, he's probably going to die at this stage. He doesn't have a ton of stats. Just the Phase Boots right now and the Shadow Blade, I suppose, but he needs that for the initiation.
Well,
No
Have
towers
fun,
left to
Pango.
play with.
towers, and now Lu has that 20 talent, even a Lincoln's as well, so...
I mean, that
Pango's
means
gonna
Lu
have a-
can't get Shadow Stepped onto as well, right?
Yeah. I guess you can charge,
Yeah, but
break
then
it, and
you
I
don't
don't know,
have
it's
the
all
Spirit
like,
Breaker
yeah.
there, right? To be able to
Yeah.
kill him.
You need everyone. I mean, you're 19k behind. You need every single boy you can get, and unfortunately, YBB, they've got Roshan up, so second Rosh of the game should be able to go their way. You got Ages and the Aghanim Shard soon to claim. Oh man, I think they're going to be a little bit too late to contest this though. They got to go through the Enchantress
gonna be a
as
lot
well.
too
He's in
late.
a great spot. Once Tussle's able to jump in, that tag team. So Ages given over to Lu. He got the Arc Shard as well, so Curse of the Old Growth given over to him.
I think he just wants to be able to see these. Dazzle's died a couple of times super early on, so I'm sure that TZ is going to have it like, okay, well, I'm just going to be playing around these trees as much as possible, but no, not with this Nature's Prophet Aghanim Shard. It's going to be able to find him, and it's going to be able to do all that damage, and yeah, poor guy.
The Dazzle's died a little bit too many times, and I feel like a lot of that is off the back of Tian Ming. Ricky has done a exceptional job. He's got Blink and Gem now, so just further going to make the map.
Look at Radiant's map vision. That's what
Oh, yeah.
I want to have a look at right now.
Yeah,
It is
fun
literally a couple of creep waves at your base. Good luck trying to come back with this net worth at all.
When the the fact that it's a 6% probability, I know Dota Plus really likes Spectre, but
It's being 5% too generous, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen games where like it starts and the Spectre's got like a 20% advantage through win probability just because they're like, you know what, this hero kind of busted late game. Not against a Viper though.
Man, well, can you even get to the late game too? As soon as Spectre pops out top, I think they actually already see him at the moment. They know exactly where Spectre's placed.
Oh yeah, they know.
The boys are coming. Oh, did he actually get out? He went to Beyond and oh, he's gonna look to T. Well, that's Horn. That's your Horn down.
Top
So
tower is under attack.
he's
He
live.
can still
But
join. He's got the Shadow Step.
yeah. Oh, okay. Sure he can.
Optimism, bro.
Optimism, my bad. It is you live. Silver lining. Spectre lives. Maybe they can. I think you need to protect his bottom ward.
Poor
I don't know if you
TZ.
can even take a fight,
Poor
but
TZ.
bring around the rosy.
Okay, if they can get this
A lot
pick
of
up, that'd be
damage.
huge.
You'd love the gem as well. Yanming will end up going down with a wraparound from the Spirit Breaker. They're going to look to pick up the gem. They want to stick around though, but the Rolling Thunder hasn't really granted them too much.
All right, you'll take it.
Is under
Match and
attack.
grab.
I mean, they get a kill. They keep the Ricky off the map, which means that you're able to go out a little bit more because you know he is that main thing to enable the catch to happen. And now you're going to be able to clear out a lot of these wards that are super aggressive, you know, deep towards your lane that even if you aren't going into the lane, reveal where you're wanting to farm in the next little bit. Blessing can't be dying on the bottom side, though. He's got a Viper coming, he's got a Nature's Prophet TPing, and a Hasted Tusk.
Oh,
Oh.
there's that.
Okay. What is that going to do?
Just want to see.
Take that ground.
I know we don't see this Nature's Prophet Aghanim Shadow. Do you know if it reveals invis? It doesn't say.
Not sure,
but he used
in the
it
trees,
when
though, it does.
yeah, he used it when the Spiriker was Shadow Bladed, but I'm not sure if ZZQ had detection. Regardless,
Radiant's bottom
well, Bloodstone now
tower is
picked up
under
on the Viper. This is kind of looking very similar to some of the builds we've seen previously on the Razor.
Oh, poor Dazzle. Oh, forced up.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Oh, force off, and he might still go down. 7E.
Lotus.
Up to pretty early BKB, but Spectre's caught outside the base. Not taking a whole lot of damage at the moment. Lou, under the cover of the BKB, should be able to continue the right click, and they'll turn the Sprout onto the pain. Goes to the
He's
Rolling
level 20, so
Thunder.
he's leashed.
Will completely be nullified. There's nothing Blessings can do. He'll jump up to the higher gun, but Tianming instantly in pursuit. They'll get one bash, push him back further. The Pagan
Little
will
deep
live,
tusk.
but the rest of the boys, they're still in trouble. Molasses getting chased down, but he's going to be able to stay alive thanks to the burst of the heal. Dire.
They just want a
Have
little
they
bit of extra
gone
damage
too
from the
deep,
tower.
though? I mean, Lou's still got the Aegis for another minute. Maybe the Pango is the one that's in trouble. Grable by Blessing some time. Marbler? Hang on, Spectre's even jumping in as well. Feel like they can maybe get some kills, but the Snowball's going to keep 70 alive, but unfortunately the Spirit Breaker. But that was a suicide attempt, and no one else wants to join him.
I think just all throughout this game, they've overestimated their damage. You know, just being able to find that pick off. SB has a decent amount of farm. You know, the Ogre Axe, he's got the Shadow Blade phase boots, and he's moving fairly fast, but it's still just not enough to be able to find that kill to allow the Spectre to get a quick pick off and then go back to the rest of the team in his safety. Well, that Horn did well now. Just don't know if he wants to fight without that Manta.
Oh, nice Snowball. Oh, 7-8.
middle barracks are under
Relax, my good sir. Stop styling.
Not good though, having a
They're
carry
onto the
with
Spectre
more
top.
than double your net worth. Yeah, they are.
Gonna have to try and haunt
Able
out.
to get
Blessings
back.
with the Rolling Thunder in as well. Yeah, I don't killing even the enchantments. They're gonna have to back around. Jump, dude, he's just only aiming TC. The dart perched off and they're okay. No one dies, but it's a 30.
discrimination.
Oh, dude, TC's like, come on, give me a break, man. I got 11 deaths. Like, you're trying to
You ever
make
get
me
those
have more?
pubs where people,
What?
it just seems like they've got a target on your
Yeah.
back for no reason. You're not the most valuable hero in the team fight, but they just go for you every single time. It's like, come on, man, I just want to play
Dude.
Dota.
It's so fun when you do it against someone else. So look at King. Okay, didn't pop the smoke. I was going to
Need
say,
a
I thought he was
break.
going to stay on the stairs. I sing the praises.
Oh. Place down a sentry ward to be able to see that they've got some vision and immediately get rid of it.
Feel it. We see the courier. How do you set up? How do you spread a juke bottom? Do they want maybe? Not an easy
That'd be
target.
big.
It just picked up Satanic. The check needs to be perfect because as soon as Lou starts to get the
He's
right
out.
clicks out, the Rive still might be too much for them to handle. Lou back up to full health. The rest of Radiant, their health depletes in an instant. Blessing caught out in the tree line. 4 down without YB taking a single casualty.
The lack of damage for me, it has been from minute 0, and yeah, they just call it. That was their one opportunity to kill the Nature's Prophet that was, I think, 7 levels ahead of the Spectre at the time, and well, with all those turnarounds, reaches his level 25, and that's going to be enough. YB.